Okay, a Seat Leon FR 170 diesel 2010. I removed the standard Blaupunkt unit, and it's in housing that I got after a couple of various goes at fitting it. I got this from eBay about $8.99. It's a Volkswagen DIN adapter, and there's a DIN thing in there. I haven't put the surround in yet. I'm waiting for the proper Seat Leon fascia. Whether it'll fit with this, I'm not sure. I've got something I had originally from eBay, which isn't a perfect match. The reason I haven't used this a DIN cage fits into this directly. The reason I haven't used it is it's got these very large lugs, you can probably see, that won't fit in the standard without me removing these inserts, which I'm only going to do as a last resort. Hopefully the official Leon part, which I've been waiting for now for 3 weeks. Officially that was about £22. Officially that hopefully that's going to work, and then I'll fit the front and it'll look nice. Okay, so I paid £195 on eBay for this. There's one vendor that seems to have hundreds of them, and I paid £65 optional extra for the GPS aerial and sat-nav software, which pretty much is one of the main reasons I wanted it, so I had to pay that. So let's turn it on. Okay. Okay. So obviously normally I don't power it off with this button, I just thought I'd start with this. So you get this start up, boot up screen each time. It's not that protracted. Okay, so I'll turn the volume down a bit. We're in the radio, FM. I chose a fairly quiet station. We're in the middle of an advert though. So what we got is the usual kind of things, such as alternate frequency, I guess, traffic information I've turned off, and there's various volume playing about things. This controls the fader, balance, so on, which I haven't messed about with yet. Okay, I'll mute that a bit. So the radio, there's an auto store on there, which I won't press yet. The presets are there, which the auto store did. I'll just move Classic FM to the front. You can do this, use the touch sensitive ability to move through the dial like that. You can use these and holding them properly will seek to the next available station. So it's got a lock there. AM. Okay, so radio 5 tuned. That's the thing I most listen to on anyway. So pretty much it for the radio. Does what you'd expect a radio to do. There's no long wave, which for cricket fans like myself, that's a bit of a pain in the neck. So we'll go to the home. So the main options are here. This is DVD, or CD. There's a DVD in there as it happens at the moment. Maybe a CD is a more sensible option because this takes a while to read. Got the parking brake on. There's a wire in the back of the unit, like all of these I gather, that senses the handbrake's connected. Yeah, handbrake's on when you use it. You can circumvent that. You can just connect it to ground and then it'll work any time, but I don't think that's strictly legit, so we won't say any more about that. Okay, it's starting up. Yeah, any time now. So I don't propose to spend too long on this because yeah, it'll be a bit. Just hear some sound. Okay, great. Touch it, and there's stuff like jump. Generally, you can't interrupt these menus, can you? So won't get too much joy there. I think we're at sort of the stage where it's insisting on doing its own thing. So we've got information on the audio there. Don't know if it does subtitles. I haven't looked yet. I suppose it should. Okay. What's it doing now? Anything I can interrupt? Yeah, doesn't look like it. Okay. That's probably enough DVD for now. So there's the main title menu. So touch that, touch home. Okay, next thing we'll look at is the USB, playing MP3s. the USB stick goes in there. Standard CED1800 it doesn't seem to know about anymore, unfortunately. It's not the end of the world. That's a SanDisk Cruiser 64 gig. It was about £24 on Amazon, and it's very, very compact, which is what I wanted. It originally was in the standard CED place next to the aux. So I press this. Because it's a very large drive, this bit is going to take a while, not minutes hopefully, but there's about 35 gig of MP3s on here, so I think each time it opens it kind of has a quick look, fairly quick look at what's on there. It lists everything one level directory deep, so if you've got a particular artist and the number of albums by them, it will kind of move them all up to the top level. So you've got all the, so any directories need to be appropriately named. So that wasn't too clever, was it? So, health warning now, just use the mute on the steering wheel control, which just giving away something I was going to mention at the end. So, got the mute going on there, so let's turn the sound up. Okay. So, it's gone back a track, or have I gone to the beginning of, no, okay, so people who've seen 500 Days of Summer will know this one, I suppose. Okay, so the track information is pretty good on this one. The ID tags make sense, and sometimes you get truncation or strange things in there. So jump into the next track, like that. Jump into the next track. Good. Same audio controls as the radio. Go back up to home. I'm going to wear this one out. So the track listing, unfortunately. So let's see the track listing on the album listing. So this is the album listing. You can scroll through. There's a lot on here. You can scroll through with this, or you can scroll through in that way. So I jumped down a directory there by pressing slightly too hard. So yeah, I mean, pretty good. Yeah, what you'd expect. It's probably easier to navigate than the standard CED one was, Blaupunkt one. Okay, go up to home. We're going to look at Bluetooth. The phone is connected. Good. This works pretty much as you'd imagine. The button on the steering wheel control, which I'll explain a bit more later, that works. You can hear a slight beep as I'm pressing it. So a call comes in, it interrupts this, and you press the button on the steering wheel and you're talking. There's a microphone there. There's an external microphone in the back, which I thought I'd have to use, but no, the front microphone is very, very adequate. Yeah, it doesn't, as far as I'm aware, know about the phone book, the contacts list on the phone. If there is a way of doing it, I haven't spotted it yet. So you new pairing, paired device, so you kind of do it that way. It does a thing as well, which I haven't looked into too much, because obviously I got a lot of music on the stick. It does a thing about playing music off the phone. I'm not clear on what happens exactly, but I'm not really desperately interested in that aspect of it. If someone's got something that's more like they consider a music device than on a phone, I presume that's for them. Okay, so I won't look at sat-nav yet. This is AV1in, which is that there. So I suppose the most common use is, I suppose, if you had a video camera and you wanted to play it pretty much straight away after you've taken some kind of photos when you're out. Not photos, video. So I'll put the radio back quietly. Good. And what we'll do next is we'll go into the settings, which are here. So steering wheel control I mentioned briefly later. Settings. So this is kind of like standard stuff. You don't have to worry about setting the clock. That's set both by the FM tuner and the GPS signal, discovered by trial and error. This is kind of the unit. There's very little documentation on what exactly is inside the unit. I haven't seen anything about what exactly the operating system is. I gather it's Windows CE6, but that's just through reading stuff. I don't know that's the case. So Bluetooth version, DVD region, you can set it effectively, I think, to region 0 by following the instructions that come with it. Navigation, this is where you set the path. You don't have to worry about setting that unless you're changing the software really. You set it once and leave it. Bluetooth, this is where you control the pairing options, pretty hassle-free. Still the microphone's off because I just used the microphone there. Auto answer, auto connect, absolutely what you'd expect. So let's come out of there. Let's look at the sat-nav software. You can press that, or you can press Navi, start sat-nav software. It came with the device for an extra £65 with the Aerial. At first I wasn't impressed. I got to about here and it just failed. It just went back to the previous screen. Got in touch with the vendor. He said that's because the whole of Western Europe maps and everything else is on there. So he said delete the places you won't think you won't ever be going to. Did that. It was better but not great. It actually started. It was very, very slow in operation. I worked out by reading various GPS forums and so on that the less you have on the device the better, which is probably common sense. So I deleted every map, every building description, every language, every voice, every point of interest that wasn't UK specific, and that reduced the amount of size that the thing took up on the SD card, probably 10 to 20 fold, and the performance then, along with me working out what the settings, what settings were sensible, that all kind of came together, and it's okay now. I quite like it. Quite like it actually now. So this is the normal starting screen. So there is a route in here, and the route was one I did on the weekend. So if I find, I'll do the same process. I find the address and DOL, which is nice because there aren't many places called similar name. So Dargathley, M.E. Merrick Street, intersection, yeah. Set the destination, and it's now calculating a route. It's going to go wind all the way through Wales, so there's quite a lot to think about, I guess. And it's getting there, and we're done. We can now start. So if we set off now, it's now 12:54. We'd get there at 15:33. 49 feet is the altitude, 120 feet is the next turn, I think that's the next major turn. You can customise what's in here with these. I won't mess about too much. There's a trip computer, which is quite nice. The GPS stuff, okay, so the GPS, so it's showing the satellites currently connected, the accuracy. I was a bit concerned, the GPS cable is about 3 meters long, and I read people talking about putting it underneath, above the rear view mirror and so on. I didn't fancy taking the interior of the car apart. So I just tried it behind the glove box, attached to a piece of metal. It's got a magnet on it, and does the job. No doubt someone might say, they would prefer it as high up on the car as possible. I'm not particularly bothered for the effort that would involve. You can control the sound here. That's the 3D buildings, I think. That's the nighttime setting. Let's go back to here. What else have I got? So the GPS signal strength is at the bottom and it's showing max. I'm currently on the top floor of a multi-storey car park, but I've never seen it show less than max, so that's good. What other options have we got? Settings, there are a lot of settings, so you can mess about to your heart's content, really. Yeah. When it wasn't working very well, I was kind of like thinking there must be a setting that I'm missing. And there are settings that take up more memory and CPU than others. One thing is when I first connected it, this was not happy, so I just unticked enable, reticked enable, and it detected the port and baud rate. Other software I've tried on it sensed the port as something different, so not really too sure. You can see there's an auto detect grade out there. I think I pressed that actually. So there we go. That's, I think, is why mainly reason I wanted this, and it's pretty much good enough, I think, now. I slightly prefer TomTom because I'm more used to it, but it's good enough. So, one last thing, the steering wheel. The Connect 2 stuff, just once I got the right information, I went to the Connect 2 website. There's a lot of bad information elsewhere, or incomplete information, or information that assumed you knew exactly what you're doing. Connect 2 site is the place to go. You can see exactly what cable you want and exactly what interface cable to the steering wheel. The volume up, volume down. This is on the steering wheel. There's the phone. Just press the phone. It does the business. It's mute. Forward and backwards through tracks and stuff I haven't got working yet. I'll have to look into that. The steering wheel control learning, which I didn't have to use actually, is in there, and you can actually train the features, so I haven't actually needed to do that, so that's an option. So if I press, let's say, I press the mute, so yeah, so I didn't have to teach it that. Just one cable from there was a multi-plug at one end that goes into the connect loom, and then there was one other cable, and there were 5 cables coming back out by the back of the Phillips, and I, by looking around on the internet, deduced the brown cable was the one, and that pretty much has done everything I wanted. So this morning I looked at this unit on the same supplier on eBay, and instead of £195 it was £395, so I don't know whether he's worked out that it's actually a more valuable bit of kit than he thought. Pretty much everything works. It's not supported, I gather. I tried to register it. It's not supported for use in the UK officially by Philips, but you know, okay, I can live with that. So firmware upgrades and so on, I don't know how you'd get hold of those. I don't know what firmware upgrades would be required, but no doubt some people would worry. So yeah, pleased with that. Obviously it looks a bit rough and ready at the moment, but hoping to have that fixed when CED get the part. Thank you. Okay.